Alright, this is going to be a new YouTube video. This topic today is going to be about stop having expectations for anybody but yourself. Now, I have went through this time. I went through a period of this in my life, believe it or not, when I was, I'll say 14 years old. I had friends that were not positive influences on my environment, positive influences on who I was, my name, my friend group, anything. I hung out with kids that were degenerates. Looking back, hung out with kids that were not a good impact on my life. I would get in trouble without actually doing anything. And now, I'm not trying to talk about lust or anything bad in the past, but what I'm trying to say is I had a higher expectation for myself. I had a higher up for myself. I had a self. If you hear the background music or background noise, I'm sorry. But I had a very high expectation, and I believed in myself at a very young age that I could do something with social media. Did not know what, but I had a belief. It's always been a dream of mine to do something. And yeah, genuinely, this story I'm about to say it could come out messed up. I'm sorry if it does. But I'm going to say 15 because I genuinely did not know what to do with this money that I made at a very young age. And it was a lot of money. So I was 15, turning 16, maybe even 17. It didn't happen overnight, the success. It took a lot of months, years, and days, and I started from nothing. I had nothing. I had nobody guiding me. I had no source of how to actually make this happen. Now, what it was TikTok. This was when Musical.ly just turned into TikTok. There's a bunch of people making all different kind of content, and I made a content where it was very interesting, and a lot of people, believe it or not, spent a lot of time watching these videos. And I had a friend group at the time that did not believe in me, that would not uplift me, that would not congratulate me, and always talked down on me, always hated on me, would see my video, and instead of liking it and commenting, trying to get it to have more reach, potentially, they would show the whole school and have them make fun of me. Yo, what's up, TikTok boy? Yo, what's up? You know what I mean? And genuinely, it wanted me to quit. It wanted me to stop. But I had a bigger message to bring to the table. And I know it wasn't to do with TikTok, but I knew that had something to do with it. I was not posting fitness at the time. Now I post fitness. Now I post motivational. That was none of this kind of content. But it was somewhere for me to start. It was somewhere where I was seeing numbers hit. It was somewhere that I believed in and something that I was interested in. I was learning at the time how to fail and how to grow. And that is what I really genuinely took this as, right? So like I said, I took it as a learning experience. I took it as okay, this is how I get people's attention. All right, this is how I make good content. Oh, I'm going to download this thing called CapCut. And I actually used to edit on iMovie before CapCut was even a thing. But yeah, so like I said, the same person, if you guys watched the last video, that made fun of me, showed the whole school this content that wasn't embarrassing, but yo, look at this kid, he's thinking he's gonna blow up, this was my best friend we were talking about, and I was afraid to put myself out there with any other kids, trying to not be yo, you want to be my friend, that doesn't come off right, you know what I mean? So who I surrounded myself with at the time was not the best influence. He smoked as a 14-year-old, drank everything, and I would hang out with this kid on the weekend, right? But I genuinely wanted to make this content thing work. So when I was at his house, I would record videos. When I was at his house, I would do videos. He would be smoking. He would be playing Fortnite. He would be doing whatever. And I genuinely had a belief that it could work. And once it did work, once I hit 100,000 followers on TikTok, once I hit 200,000 followers on TikTok, this kid could not believe how big my numbers were going up. Genuinely. He asked, oh, bro, I want to stop smoking. I want to be a better man. Now, this came out of nowhere. This came out of seeing my success. And don't get me wrong, it did not take a month. It did not take 3 months. It did not take 6 months. It did not take a year. It took years. It took hard working every day, no stopping, years to make this content, to even think of this content, right? I posted 6 times a day on social media, on TikTok at the time. And I genuinely had a belief that I could make an impact, and I did. I almost had 1 million followers on TikTok, and I don't want you guys to like, oh, he probably is just talking out of his ass. I would put a screenshot up. I could probably find one. If you don't believe me, feel free to comment. I'll make a video on it, but I'm gonna post this raw, no editing, no nothing. This kid, once he started seeing my success, wanted a piece of the cake. He seen I was making $200 a day from TikTok, Creator Fund, genuinely from just having people look at my videos, 5-second videos. But you know, once it gets a certain amount of views, you made money. It was actually stupid how much money I was racking in. I made, at the end, I'm gonna say about $12,000 as a 15-year-old making TikTok content, which was crazy, right? This kid making fun of me until he seen it work, and you know, then dropped out of middle school, dropped out of high school, never even attended high school. This kid is nowhere today, and I talked about it a lot the last video. I'm not trying to talk about it too much this video. All I'm trying to say is, you know, once he seen my success on social media, he wanted me to change him. He wanted me to help him. He wanted me to give him the sauce. He wanted me to teach him everything that I summed up in those 2-3 years of trying to make content, getting made fun of for making content. He wanted it. He wanted what I had, right? And what kind of friend would I be? And I've heard this 1,000,000 times from the kid. What kind of friend would I be if I didn't help him? If I didn't put money in his pocket, right? Not literally, but get it there. So what I realized in the process was, and I noticed this at the time because I noticed the kid that he would probably post once a week. He would probably post twice a month, yada, yada, yada. I posted 6 times a day. And at the end of the day, that is exactly what happened. He got his first paycheck from TikTok, about $50. He was expecting a lot more. And I try to explain to him, the more you push out, the more you're going to get. This kid genuinely did not get anything that he wanted because I taught him everything that, you know, people pay for to learn now. Because I put a lot of time, effort, the amount of times I failed, the amount of times I got clowned online, not even in school, online, for failing and making this shit not work until I seen the success rise and I made it work. I cannot tell you how many times I failed, bro. Genuinely. But there and then, when he stopped posting, when that kid didn't have any drive to post anymore, and I was still grinding, I was still pushing out content, I realized I could not have expectations to change him. I could not have expectations for anybody but myself. And genuinely, all that energy I was putting in towards helping him, I could have been helping myself. I could have seen possibly 2 million followers if I wasn't helping this kid for like 6 months. Went to this kid's house every day after school, watched his videos, gave him video ideas, edited his videos for him. Was I getting anything out of this? No. Except for being a genuine ass guy, being a genuine friend. But I wanted to see this kid win. And at the end of the day, I learned a very hard lesson that a lot of people genuinely need to hear, and that is, you cannot have expectations for anybody but yourself, because if you put so much time and energy into changing somebody else, they're not going to actually change. You're the only one that can change you, and they're the only one that could change them. That is it. That's the only thing that truly can ever happen. You can try to enlighten them on the journey that they could be going down, positive or good, but you cannot actually change who that person is. You cannot change them. Caffeine. You cannot change them from a bad guy to a good guy. You cannot change them from being a piece of shit to being a winner and an influential person. Genuinely, they have to change themselves. And I put so much time, energy, and effort into this kid that it was a waste for me at the end of the day. And genuinely, I couldn't change him. So stop having expectations for anybody but yourself, because at the end of the day, they got to be willing to change. You cannot change that person. So instead of having expectations of this kid posting 3 videos a month, I had expectations for me posting 6 times a day, every day for a month. And I made that shit happen. I had expectations. I had goals for myself. And those goals started to fall apart a lot when I had like 800K, because I was helping this kid. And that genuinely impacted my success with TikTok. It genuinely led to almost a downfall on me. Very stressed, very low sleep, still in school. It was a lot for me at the time. Managing basically 2 TikTok accounts, it was a lot. Very stressed out, and I was trying more than this kid was. And I came to a realization that I could not have expectations for this kid. He wasn't family, he wasn't anything to me except a friend that I grew up with. And once I realized I can't have expectations for anybody but myself, I started winning, genuinely. And that's a message for this YouTube video, and I hope it helps. Put this into any perspective you can to help yourself in the situations that you're in your life, obviously. But what I'm trying to say is, long story short, you cannot change a person. You cannot help a person unless they're willing to help themselves. And with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this helps somebody out there. And dude, trust me, if you're going through it, genuinely stop. That person's asking for handouts for a reason, because they see you winning. Don't let them stop your winning momentum, because they will kill that shit. They will wait to see you fail. They want you to fail, bro. Keep pushing. Love you guys. Subscribe, like.